And they're fake
We are
cases.
watching former President Trump speaking at Trump Tower in New York City after attending a hearing over his appeal for a new trial in the E. Jean Carroll sexual abuse civil case. Trump called the case a long and complicated web, blaming the Justice Department, President Biden, and Vice President Harris. He also talked about the economy, calling today's job numbers terrible. We have full team coverage, and I want to go straight to our senior.
Who keeps letting this man say all these things that he keeps saying? Is there nobody to hold this man tight in a room and tell him, no, you must not go out and talk? Because every time he opens his mouth, it's almost as if he creates more problems to himself. Is there anybody who can just tell him that, Donald, not Mr. President, because he's not the president, former president, can you please stop talking? Because every time you talk, you put your lawyers in problems, you put yourself in problems, you mess up everything for yourself. Can you just relax? Go and campaign. Relax. Because there's nothing you can do with what has already happened. In court, you cannot see anything. But when you come out, you keep creating more problems to yourself. Can you just zip it for one moment? Think before you open your mouth. Does he even think? I think what is disturbing Trump is lack of sleep. On the Lex Freeman, is it Lex Freeman or whatever his name is? He said he hardly sleeps. Sleep is not his friend. That is what is disturbing Donald Trump.
Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky, who's there outside the appeals court. Because, Aaron, we just heard Trump, by my count, at least 3 times say he doesn't even know E. Jean Carroll and that her story is a lie. But he has already lost in court for doing that very thing, for denying her story, because the jury found him liable for that assault and for defaming her in the past by denying it. So could he have just subjected himself to another defamation case here?
Maybe.
I mean, it's certainly possible if E. Jean Carroll and her attorney were listening, Diane. The former president certainly came close to the line, if not went over it, and repeating.
Those 2 lawyers behind Donald Trump, these attorneys, Alina Haber and this other guy, I don't know his name, they are shitting their pants for Haber knows already the playbook. Just deny, and create alternate realities. But for this other guy, the way he stands there, he's like, oh no, not again. How do I go and prepare for another case that might be pending? But if he's paying his fees, he has no problem. As long as the money is coming in, it's fair game. You are paying me money, I'm paying my partners, so we don't have a problem if at all he's paying, because we know Trump doesn't pay. Trump doesn't pay his attorneys. So I doubt if he's paying this guy.
The very defamation of E. Jean Carroll, for which he was held liable and ordered to pay $5 million, and that he's now appealing. So there's no small amount of irony that on the day he's appealing the outcome of the defamation case by E. Jean Carroll, he's repeating some of the very same words that the jury found were defamatory. So it is a bit of a risk for him. We don't know whether E. Jean Carroll would pursue another case, but if she's listening in, I think her ears might perk up.
Brian, what does this do? I want to bring in our legal contributor, Brian Buckmeyer. What does this do for this case at the appeals court? Are these 2 things separate in terms of new
So,
okay, yeah, it's a press conference. It's a long one.
For being here. This is a long and complicated web and story, but it all goes back to the DOJ and Kamala and Sleepy Joe and all the rest of them.
Why Kamala? What has Kamala got to do with you assaulting a woman? This thing happened long time before you even became a politician. So what has that got to do with Kamala? What has that got to do with Kamala? What is wrong with this man, to be honest? What is wrong with him? Can somebody tell me what is wrong with him?
We have a whole rigged election system.
So is this a campaign or is this a press conference concerning the Eugene Carroll case? Because he's now left from Kamala doing the DOJ long web of 4 stories to election interference. Which is which?
Nobody's ever seen anything like what's happening now.
His favorite words, nobody has ever seen anything. Nobody has seen it, then it doesn't happen. Because if nobody sees anything, then nothing happens. So if nobody has ever seen it, then nothing did happen, right?
I understand yesterday they're bringing up Russia again, that they've done for years.
But the Russia that came up yesterday is an indictment, and the guys who are involved accepted, but they are saying they are victims. They accepted that that company did pay them to peddle their falsehood, to spread disinformation, to spread Russian talking points. So it did actually happen.
Never found anything. But they should be looking at China, Iran, lots of other places.
Cameroon, Uganda, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, Angola, Senegal, Gabon. They should be looking at all of
I
them.
haven't spoken to anybody from Russia in years. They know that, but it's a scam. But it all goes back to the DOJ because we had a trial today. It's an appeal of a ridiculous verdict of a woman I have never met. I don't know. I have no idea who she is. She wrote a...
What he just said there can still lead him into another problem. Why are these two allowing this man to stand in front of the microphone and put himself into another deep shit? Other than that, he pays them. If he's not paying them too, they will be long gone, because this man will always snitch on himself.
A book, and she made a ridiculous story up. She put it in her book, and we're now appealing the decision. We had an extremely hostile judge appointed by Clinton, very good friends of Clinton. I guess he presided over the marriage ceremony of one of the lawyers on the case against us. And it was very sad. Judge Lewis Kaplan, angry man. He was so angry. I went to the trial. I've been in a lot of litigation over the years. I've never seen such...
Of course, you've been in a lot of litigation. That says a lot about you.
Such anger, or wanted to throw one of our attorneys in jail, who threatened her with jail. Nobody's ever seen anything like it over...
Why does he like using this word? Nobody has ever seen anything like this ever. Why does he like using this? Nobody has ever seen anything like this before.
Over nothing. Nobody's ever... I've never seen such anger, but all of our judges... I mean, we had a brilliant judge, and I think a very fair judge in Florida. I think we have another
fair judge in Florida because she's trying to help him with the documents case. That's why she is fair. Any judge that rules in his favor is fair. Any judge that rules against him is corrupt, is angry, is a bad man who is doing a lot of bad things for their country. And they are losing their country because of that judge. That is how he categorized anybody who rules against him and anybody who rules slightly tiny thing for him is a fantastic judge.
Judge who's very fair. I just ask for fair. I don't want anything different from anybody else. I just ask for fairness. We have another judge or a couple of judges that I think are fair. Then we have other judges that I think the whole thing is, I think the system is a disgrace. The case that we met on today, and then we're going to talk about job numbers, which are horrible, by the way, horrible, like really bad. And you know that. I'm sure you won't report on it, but the job numbers are terrible. We're going to talk about the appeal today. We had a great appellate lawyer go down representing us. And I think John did a very good job. You have a matter of minutes to speak. It's a very complex thing because it was a setup, a rigged deal. They had two witnesses. And before I start, I have no idea who this woman is. They have a picture from, they say, about 40 years ago, a picture. And the picture depicts her and her husband on a celebrity line where I was the celebrity. I was been a celebrity for a long time. And
He's been a celebrity for a long time.
they were shaking my hands along with hundreds of other people. Nobody even knows where it is. The problem is she doesn't know the date of this incident. She doesn't know when. She doesn't know, was it in the...
You know, everything he's saying now, he can still be liable. He can still be taken to court. Because everything he's saying now, he's trying to deny something that has already been ruled upon, and he's been found guilty, liable. And he's still pushing the button. He's still pushing the button.
90s. Could it have been further than that? She has no idea when. And people do that because you don't want to give a specific date and then you find out that Trump or whoever it was in Europe. So they tend to do that. They take long periods so that this way, hopefully he was in New York at that time. But this is a disgraceful case, and disgraceful in particular because it's about a former president of the United States
Oh, it's former.
who is now
Okay.
leading in the polls to be the president again. And this is being worked with the DOJ, Department of Justice, as are all of these cases. They all come out. Atlanta, Fani, that is all Department of Justice. Nobody knew that. The case with Judge Engoron, the most overturned judge in the state, that is very close because they sent their team from the DOJ to help him. The district attorney, Alvin Bragg, that was all worked with. Again, they sent a top operative from the department, from the DOJ Department of, I call it the Department of Injustice, because they're using the
Oh my God. Is this man really serious? To be honest, people do take him serious. Imagine if Donald Trump was poor. Imagine if his father did not give him all this money and made his name for him. Just imagine that. Because he says things that doesn't make sense. He speaks like a poor man, but who is rich. His brain is that of a poor man, but he is rich.
Department of Justice to rig the campaign. These cases are disgraceful. Now, they're brought, for the most part, in front of very hostile areas where Republicans get 3 or 4%, like downtown Manhattan, in front of very hostile judges, like hostile like you wouldn't believe. Judge Mershon, Judge Engoron, and Judge Kaplan, all of them hostile areas and very, very hostile judges. I've never seen anything like it.
His favorite word is I've never seen anything like it. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. Hostile judges. Like nobody's ever seen anything like this. Those are his favorite sentence.
And very bad thing in this case, New York. Very bad thing for New York. Businesses won't come to New York because of what took place.
Because of you? You think businesses wouldn't go to New York because of you? I'm not sure about that.
With Judge Engoron, I can tell you that, and probably the rest of them also. But this case involved a woman who wrote a book, and I guess she said something in the book. That's when I first heard about it. I first heard about it in the White House. And of course, I denied the story because it's not true. I have no idea who the woman is, and I never met her.
That again is defamatory. He can be taken to court again for saying that because already he's been liable for sexual assault. He's been liable for sexual assault. And how much is he paying? 85 million? And he's still saying this. And there's still another case again coming for him. What is wrong with this man?
Now, I don't know about a picture that was taken 40 years ago with her husband on a celebrity line, so I don't think that counts. But as far as I know, I never met her. I never touched her. I would have had no interest.
Have you seen his lawyer? Have you seen the guy, the lawyer? His eyes is like, oh no, stop saying that. Just stick to the point. Talk about the appeal. Just talk about the appeal of the verdict. Verdict has already been made. Just talk about the appeal.
Interest in meeting her in any way, shape, or form. Her husband was a news anchor, actually, John Johnson, a very nice guy. She called him horrible things. We weren't allowed to say that in the trial. She said horrible things about him. I guess they're since divorced. He's a very nice guy, African American, and she said very bad things. We weren't allowed to use that in the trial, which surprised a lot of people. But she made.
What has that got to do? What has the relationship between Agent Carroll and the husband got to do with Donald Trump? What has that got to do with Donald Trump? You said you didn't know them, but now you know the husband. You never met her, but now you know the husband. He's a very good man. How do you know the husband if you've never met her? You said you only shook their hands in a celebrity whatever meeting. That's the only time that we assume that you are saying that you met them. But now, the next few seconds, you just said you know the husband very well. So which one is which? Do you know them? Did you know them or you did not? Because if you know the husband, there is a high possibility that you will know the wife. Because you're saying the husband was a very good man. And you even know what he did. So that says you knew the lady and you met her.
Made up a story, it fabricated 100% that I attacked her at Bergdorf Goodman. You know, it's very interesting. I don't think they were allowed to use this either. Her favorite show is Law and Order. And there's a almost exact story as her story in Law and Order about being attacked in the dressing room of a department store. I don't know if they used the name of the store, but that's her favorite show, Law and Order. She said that. And anyway, this evolved into a defamation case against me because I disputed her words because I told the truth. We were called. I was in the White House and I.
Did Trump just said he told the truth? Some of these words should not be coming out of his mouth. His voice should get lost when he tries to use some of this word, like I told the truth. You just said you did not know the woman. And then in the next sentence, you said, I know the husband very well. That already is a lie. That is a lie.
I said, no, it never happened. I didn't even know what they were talking about. This was, I think I was in the Oval Office. Sir, do you know anything about this? And this had to do with the book. And she had a few pages in a book making this claim. By the way, there was never a claim. There was never a police report. There was never anything mentioned. There was never publicity 30 or 40 years ago, whenever it took place. Nobody knows. She doesn't know when it took place. When did it take place? She has no idea. She thinks it was in the 1990s. She thinks it was in the 1990s. And the judge.
What is wrong with this man? What is wrong with this man? From what I'm reading, the full press conference after legal team sought to appeal verdict. So they're appealing the verdict, not appealing if she lied or she did not lie. They're trying to appeal the verdict of the case. The verdict has already been passed. Why is this man putting himself in big trouble again?
Judge, we had two trials. We asked for a consolidation. He said no. The reason he said no is he'd rather have double the publicity because that's bad for me. Very bad, because I'm running for president. And this is not the kind of publicity you like. And whether it's true or not, it's horrible. And in this case, it's so false. It's a made-up, fabricated story by somebody, I think, initially just looking to promote a book. And
look, the furthest part of this press conference is his lawyer. That man is standing there. He's going to melt. Before Trump is going to finish his press conference, that suit is going to melt on him. He's going to be standing there stark naked because Trump is making him so nervous. You can see his hand was twitching like, come on, dude, stop talking about that. Talk about the verdict. Maybe say maybe that the money you've been asked to pay is too much. Or try and say the judge wasn't fair with the verdict. Something about the verdict, not the case itself, because you already found liable.
And when they called me,
See,
I
it's
denied the
twitching.
story. I got sued essentially for defamation because I'm denying a story where I'm right. I should be suing her for defamation.
Sue her then.
So that's where it is. Now, there were two witnesses. One is a woman who's followed me for years. She said in 1979, I was in an airplane with her, commercial flight, and we became very intimate. I just sat down. I think I had the book, The Art of the Deal. I was famous then, too. I've been famous for a long time. And we're sitting in first class, according to her. Never happened, by the way. Totally made up story. She's a Clinton person, too, by the way. Big Clinton person. She made up the story. And so many years ago, and I think it would be 1979, one of my many people behind me could correct it.
I'm
I think
struggling
she
to
said
follow with this
1978,
story.
it's a long time
I'm
ago.
struggling to,
And
you know, when you're listening to Trump, you have to. He takes you to places. At the same time, you're trying to wonder: is he talking about Jupiter? Is he talking about Mars? Is he talking about the moon? What is he talking about? Air, sun, water, land, forest. So we try to stay. You try to follow this. It's always hard because he rambles, and to him, rambling, as he said, is a talent. I'm struggling to catch up with what he's trying to say. I can't even get it. The lawyer standing at the back is like, dude, stop talking.
sat down. I believe I had some pretty big success then, and I was being talked about a lot. Maybe The Art of the Deal was out, sometime after that. I'm not sure. But I was well known. And passengers are coming into the plane. And she said I was making out with her. And then, after 15 minutes, and then she changed her story a couple of times. Maybe it was quicker. That I grabbed her at a certain part, and that was when she had enough. Now, so think of how the...
Wait, he said maybe it was quicker. What was quicker? Him making out with her, or what was quicker?
impracticality of this. I'm famous. I'm in a plane. People are coming into the plane. And I'm looking at a woman, and I grab her, and I start kissing her and making out with her. What are the chances of that happening?
Did Trump not say that when you are famous, you can just grab women by the pussy? That you're just attracted to kissing beautiful women? Did he not say this? Trump said this. He said that. Let's go and check that out anyway. We should not just be talking without checking things out.
And she used to be very, she's still very beautiful. I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed.
Did you hear what he said? I moved on her, and I failed. I will admit it. So when somebody says that, and now he's saying that, how would I have just pounced on her? But this is him actually saying that I moved on her, and I failed. When you say I moved on a woman and you failed, that means the woman was not in favor of whatever you moved on her to do, and you failed. And you say, I will admit it. I moved on her.
Whoa. I did try and she was married.
Huge news there.
No, Nancy.
I did try and F her, and I failed.
No, this was marriages, and I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took out furniture. I moved on her like a but I couldn't get there. And she was married. And all of a sudden...
That is somebody's wife. That Trump is he's saying, oh my God, this guy.
And I see her, she's now got the big phony and everything. She's totally changed her look.
She's your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald is good! Oh, my man! Wait, you gotta look at me when you get out.
Whoever sets this up.
That is very
You give me the
funny.
thumbs
Look at you. You are a pig.
Thumbs up. You gotta get the thumbs up.
Can't be too happy. First? Yeah, let me.
It's very
You
funny.
gotta give me the thumbs up.
All right, you and I will walk in.
Oh my god.
Even the guys cannot believe what Donald Trump was saying.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the publicist. No, it's her.
Yeah, that's her, with the gold. I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Oh my god, I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. That is Donald Trump.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just,
I just start kissing them like a magnet.
I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the.
Oh my god, this guy is crazy. Grab them by the PUSSY. You can do anything.
I can do anything.
Look at those legs. All I can see is the legs.
No, it looks good.
Come on, shorty.
Oh, nice legs, huh?
Oof, get out of the way, honey. That's good legs. Go ahead.
It's always good if you don't fall out of the bus. Like Ford, Gerald Ford, remember?
Down below. Pull the handle.
Hello, how are you? Hi.
Mr. Trump, how
nice
are
seeing
you?
you.
Pleasure to
Terrific.
meet you.
Terrific. You know Billy Bush?
How are you?
Nice to see you. How you doing,
Very
Ariane?
good.
Doing very well, thank you. Are you ready to be a soap star?
We're ready. Let's go. Make me a soap star.
How about a little hug for the Donald? He just got off the
Would you
bus.
like a little hug,
Okay,
darling?
absolutely.
That's a setup.
Milan,
That is a setup. That guy, what he was doing was a setup. He was trying to see if Donald Trump was going to go for what he just described. That was a setup.
A little
said
hug for
this
the
was
bushy.
okay.
I just got off the bus.
Bushy, bushy.
There we go. Excellent. Well, you've
on.
got a nice co-star here.
good.
Yes, absolutely.
After you. Come on, Billy. Don't be shy.
As soon as a beautiful woman shows up, he takes
Get over
off
here,
on
Billy.
He's always happy.
I'm sorry, come here.
Let the little guy in there. Come
Yeah,
on.
let the little guy in. How you feel now? Better? I should actually.
It's hard to walk next to a guy like
Here, wait,
this.
hold on.
Yeah, you get in the middle. There we go.
Good. That's
This is
better.
much better. This is.
That's better.
Now, if you had to choose, honestly, between one of us, me or the Donald,
No, no, no. That's tough
some pressure
competition.
right
Yeah.
seriously, I mean, you had to take one of us as a date.
You have to take the fifth on that one.
Really?
Yep, I'll take both.
Which way?
Make it right. Here we go. Right in the days.
Here he goes. I'm gonna leave you here. Come
Okay.
get my microphone.
Okay. You gonna? Oh, you're finished?
You're my man. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna go do our show.
Oh, you want to reset? Okay.
Well, the butler was Tony Senecal. Worked for me for a long time. He was retired.
Anyway,
at that
to be
time.
honest, I've seen
Years
enough.
later, he
I've seen
retired.
enough. Trump,
He was at-
hopefully you're not
retired
going to
when
be
this
sued again.
Hoax came out.
Somebody should try.
And what-
Somebody should just try and not let him go out there and speak, or time him. Tell him, Donald Trump, you've got 5 minutes. Go out there, stay on point. Is he ever going to stay on point? Is he ever going to stay on message? I doubt that. Anyway, fellas, let me let you know. I'm just watching what I see. I didn't add anything. It's all Donald Trump. What's that coming from his mouth? And everything he's ever said. That his lawyer is going to melt. I think I don't feel so well. But see you guys on the next one. Stay safe and out.